Hi there, it's Olga. Welcome back to the day 8 of my 25 days of Christmas card making tutorial series. Today we are going to create some paper gingerbread using just one stamp set along with the matching dies. This gingerbread can be used on holiday cards. You can also use it as tags or as Christmas tree decorations. So let's get started and I'll show you exactly how I created all of the images. This is the stamp set that I used. It's Gingerbread Fun by Paper Discovery and it comes with the matching dies. It also has some sentiments included as well as some decorative elements. So I'm starting by stamping all the images with the brown Archival ink onto some thick Kraft cardstock. Those are nice big images, a bit more than 2 inches each. Notice that the house image has 2 different window shapes that you can choose from. I'm going to cover the entire sheet of cardstock with the stamping. And then I'm going to use the matching dies. I'm placing them over the images and taping them down with some washi tape. Then I'm going to place the entire sheet of cardstock onto the cutting plates and I'm going to sand it through my platinum die cutting machine. Then I'm going to repeat this process to die cut all the images that I have. This gingerbread can actually be used on projects just as it is, but I have decided to add a bit more realism to it. And the first thing that I'm going to do is add in a couple more layers of cardstock to create more dimension. An image like this can be used on a card, but if you want to turn it into a tag or a Christmas tree ornament, it's a good idea to add a ring, and this little die is also included in the set, and this is exactly what it creates. You can fold it in half just like that. It's going to give it more sturdiness. Then I'm attaching it to one of the layers and adding another layer on top. And this way the ring is trapped between the layers. Then I'm also adding the third layer to create that dimension that I'm looking for. With this little ring die, you can actually turn absolutely any die cut that you have into a hanging charm. Then I'm going to go ahead and add those additional layers to all the images that I have. I'm going to attach rings to most of them, but some of them are going to be just as they are. And this is how useful the ring is. For instance, with this candy cane shape, it's just not enough space to punch a hole. So adding a ring is the best solution in this case. Another case is that gingerbread man. I think I just wouldn't want to punch right through his face. I think you can use those gingerbread images as they are with the brown ink, or you can go ahead and white emboss the same images to make them look like icing. But I'm going to act a bit differently today. I'm going to use Nuvo crystal drops to decorate all my gingerbread. I have picked some white, brown and orange colors for my icing today. I'm just squeezing the bottle slightly and I'm going all over the stamped outlines with the crystal drops. The patterns are created with lines and dots and they are just perfect for using with those Nuvo crystal drops. By the way, the color names are Dark Walnut, Sugared Almond and Oyster Gray. Oyster Gray is actually a super light gray color, so light that you can use it as white. This substance is quite thick and it creates very dimensional outlines. It's very, very similar to the actual icing. I know a lot of people already have Nuvo drops in their stash, so that's just another great way to use them besides creating the drops. Another great thing about decorating paper gingerbread is it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to be super precise. In fact, the imperfection makes it even more realistic and it looks exactly like homemade cookies. I think you can even do it with your children. So you see, I have already applied the first color for the outline, and then I use other colors to add accents. I normally use either 2 or all 3 colors on each image. And as always, the tools and supplies that I'm using are going to be listed down below in the description box as well as on my blog. When I am done with adding details, I'm going to leave all the images to dry about a couple of hours. Creating those gingerbread images takes some time, mainly because of the drying time of the Nuvo drops. So what I would like to advise is make a whole bunch of them and put them in a box, thus creating your own little stock of gingerbread, and then you can just keep adding them to the projects when you need them. This is also not a big problem if you have some left for the next year. They are not real gingerbread and they are not going to deteriorate. Another great technique is filling in the space within the outlines with the glaze. Now when the white outline is nearly dry, I can add another color next to it. And then I will have to let everything dry just once more. This is what the glazed gingerbread looks like. It really has a lot of dimension. And now I'm going to show you how you can use them on actual projects. I'm going to start with the card. I have trimmed down a white piece of cardstock to 5 by 7 inches and I have created a Kraft card base that is slightly larger, 5 1/4 by 7 1/4. Then I'm going to use this panel die from Card Builder panel die set. I'm going to tape it down closer to the right edge and then I'm sending through the die cutting machine. And it's going to create that pretty negative pattern that is similar to candy cane. Then I'm going to apply some double-sided tape at the wrong side and center this panel onto my card base. I'm also adding some liquid glue to more intricate areas. So here is my background ready, and now I'm going to add the stamped sentiment. The one I'm going to use is from Elegant Christmas die set. And the fun thing about those sentiment is that they are going vertically and they are great to use with those vertical panels. Once I have a sentiment in place, I'm going to use brown Archival ink again to stamp it. You can use a few cookies on the card, but I think it's so detailed that one is enough to be a focal image. So this is exactly my plan. I'm going to use one gingerbread man and just add some spices and pine branches around him. All these spice dies are from Wreath Builder die set. If you want to know exactly how to put each image together, please watch the Day 6 project of this series. Next, I'm using some liquid adhesive as well as the foam squares to attach all the images, forming a large cluster. I have also added one orange slice at the corner of the card at the top. Now I'm attaching the gingerbread man with the foam squares, and then I'm going to tuck some die cuts behind him and finish off my cluster. When I have all the die cuts attached, my card is finished, and this is how easy it is to put it together. You can create a lot of different card designs just using those dimensional gingerbread images. I would also like to show you how I decorated a gift bag using one of gingerbread charms as the pendant or a hanging tag. So now I have attached a piece of twine to the ring, and then I'm also going to add the bow. I have created it out of the same twine, and now I'm sticking it down with the liquid glue. Before I add it to the gift bag, I would like to do some stamping. I'm going to use the same stamp set I used for creating the sentiment, and this time I'm going to use this little cluster of stars. Little images like those can be used as accents, but they are also great for creating backgrounds. I'm using this stamp to create a wide stripe along the right edge of the gift bag. Then I'm placing my gingerbread on a string onto the bag, and I'm going to attach it to the bag using the wax seal. The sealing wax I'm using at the moment has that wick, so I'm waiting for the wax to melt and form the puddle that is large enough to use with my stamp. Then I'm going to press that puddle down with the stamp or the wax seal and leave it for a minute to dry, and this is what it looks like. This one I'm using is a snowflake image. I'm also going to apply some metallic rub-on paint over the wax seal, and this way I'm going to color all the raised areas, and it's going to make this snowflake image stand out even more. All there is left to do is to add some finishing touches, and I have decided to use a couple of pine branches, the same ones I used for the card. I'm sticking them down with the liquid glue just below the wax seal, and my project is finished. And this is how you can turn the plain Kraft bag into exquisite gift packaging. So these are just two examples of how you can use the gingerbread on your projects. Of course, you can take some of those charms and use them just as they are as Christmas tree ornaments. You can even make them double-sided if you need to. You can also use them as gift tags and write the recipient's name at the wrong side. So this was the project for today. I hope you enjoyed watching and you found some tips and ideas useful, and you will give them a try. Thanks so much for visiting, and I hope to see you again next time. Have a wonderful day.